Hey trainers, Poke Dad here along with the Dancing Bear at first base.
KK Shift 128.
And today we're going to talk a little Virginia Regionals kind of prediction. Maybe you still haven't locked in on your deck, and I know we're a little late getting this video out, but it should kind of prepare you for what you're probably going to see and possibly what could win, right?
Right.
So if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to our channel. And that being said, let's hop into it. We've got what? You picked out two and I picked out two.
Sounds right.
And then we have a honorable mention that we'll talk about. And then we'll get into the number one, right? So, number 4, Buzzwall bats. Reminiscent to the old Landy bats, huh?
Very similar.
So we got the nice Buzzwall line with the new Diancie, Landorus, with the different weakness.
And resistance.
Yeah, I don't know how much lightning we're going to see in expanded, but okay.
Watch out for miniature.
So we're going to start setting up. We're going to get our Zubats down. We're going to get our Buzzwall and our Landorus hopefully in the active, and we're going to start spreading damage. And this is kind of how you saw the deck taking shape, correct?
Yep.
And everything looks good. I like it. I would make one correction, and I would go down.
Well played.
Dang goofy. I would go down to 4 here, and then I would add a wide lens right there. And then I notice you have Fighting Fury belts.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually go down there, and I think I would do a muscle band.
Okay.
You're going to be facing a lot of 70 HP Rock Ruffs, Trubishes, for the Espeon Garb decks and stuff like that. The new Rock Ruff has 70 HP. Maybe you run into the new Froakie that has 70 HP. And you want to be able to Hammerhead for 30, maybe Strong Energy 50, and then with the Diancie 70, maybe you don't have Strong, so you can careen in, grab the Muscle Band. If you're against, Zoroark decks, Zoroark variants, you can hit them with the wide lens that way to take double knockouts. So my last change would be to go to 2 here, and then add, what is going on here, folks? I'm sorry. Technical difficulties.
Technical.
Rebooting.
But you was going to add an Espeon EX for the devolution to de-evolve all of their Pokemon and stuff. I don't know if that's safe changes.
So there we go. Add an Espeon. Because if we're facing against a bunch of Zoroark variants, we can spread the damage on the Zoruas and then devolve the Zoroark GX into Zorua and take knockouts that way. So I think this is going to struggle against Buzzwall Lycanroc. I think it's going to be, it'll be close, but I think they still have the slight edge. Against Scrambled Eggs, Zoroark, I think this could do really well, especially if you go second and you're able to get that wide lens and start taking knockouts on Zoruas pretty quick. I think it definitely cripples their deck.
White Lens is very obtainable with the 3 Karinas and the Shaman Draw, and you're able to get your hand down to a very low size where you can Shaman for a lot. So,
Aspect of Choice, Super Scoop Up, Cyclone to pick up that bat line or a damaged Landorus, because it does have a heavy retreat, 3, and Buzzwalls has a fairly heavy retreat with 2, so we don't want nothing stuck in the active. Even the baby has a 2 retreat cost, so We don't want anything get stuck in the active. So we had 4 super scoop ups and a scoop up cyclone. So nest ball to help get our Zubats down. So
Or any other Pokemon.
looks good. So let's give it a quick save. There we go. And then coming in at
Number 3.
number 3 for me is our all pal Trevenant. Super scary against the Zoroark matchup. But I think we've progressed to where it could be solid against it. We no longer have to worry about playing Sycamore, getting rid of our Trev breaks and stuff. So we're definitely in a good spot supporter-wise. Only one Wally. The theory behind that is you don't want to spend your resources in hand just to get a turn 1 Trevenant that's going to get knocked out by a Zoroark GX with a DCE. And then you've got nothing on the bench. It's better to get a whole nice setup of Phantoms on the bench, and then if you don't really have much to play, then you Wally into like the break rather than just getting the turn 1 item lock. They're still going to be against certain matchups, like a Night March matchup, that you still want the item lock turn 1, but I don't think you're going to see a lot of Night March. And do you? What do you think?
No, I think, especially with the Oricorio and the Buzzwall being a thing, just being able to snipe all the Night Marchers, it's a very scary thing to play. And I don't think it's going to be seeing much play.
Love the 4 ends because you're definitely going to go down in prizes. The way Trevenant works is you kind of basically take all your prizes towards the end of the game all at once. So counter catcher getting something, a Landorus or a Buzzwall that has a heavy retreat cost stuck in the active, and then just spreading that damage really good. It could work good against the Zoroark Scrambled Egg decks where like Sudowoodo getting with Roadblock, getting it stuck in the active, or a Muck, stuff like that, you know. So
Yep.
3 Rescue Stars to get the Trev pieces back. That's the good thing. The old list, you know, would play at least 2 Super Rods and possibly even a Rescue Stretcher to get all your parts back. But because we're not playing Sycamore, we've been able to cut down the Super Rod and we have a more consistent setup. So
Yeah.
definitely like it. So definitely like it. So that's our 3rd pick. 2nd pick, no surprise. Well, it's a surprise that it's our 2nd pick. Scrambled Eggs. And this is the deck to beat, folks. When you look at playing in an expanded tournament, you should have this deck built and assume that you will see this deck or this a variant very similar to this 5 or 6 games out of 9 rounds on day 1.
Safe to assume.
At least 5 rounds day 1. So in theory, what you want to do is you want to be able to go positive against this and then 50-50 the other matchups. So you want to make sure you have a really good matchup. And people are saying Buzzwall Lycanroc. You know, we don't have it on our top 4 because this can still beat it with the right tweaks. And I'm about to do that right now. So Executor, it's good in like the mirror match.
Executor.
So cut it. Cut down to just 3 eggs. So we have 2 spots opened up. What you want to do is come over here and you want to add another Guzma. And we'll go into why specifically for another matchup. But of the decks we've already talked about, the 2nd Guzma is going to help you a lot against Trevenant to get it out of the active so you can use your puzzles and your other items. So 2nd Guzma definitely going to be needed Yeah, you had the 4VS, but if you're item locked, you can't get Trev out of the active. You're going to be wishing you had more Guzma options. So that's the first change. Second change, how are we going to deal with Buzzwall Lycanroc? Very, very simply. No, not this little guy. Nope, nope, nope. We need Big Brother. Right there. X-Ball with a choice band. If Buzzwall only has 2 energy, we're taking a knockout. Okay? Super, super effective.
I like the other one better.
With dealing with Buzzwall.
The other art.
The other art? Alright, let's do it.
The
There we
original.
go. So, super spicy tech. Definitely look for it.
Not very many people are going to be looking for it.
They're not. They're not. They're going to think, they're going to focus in on, I'm jet punching or I'm hammerhanding the Zorus for knockouts. Well, next thing you know, they get hit with a Mewtwo with a DCE, and it's just wrecking shop.
Even
Knocking
more than
teeth out.
Tapu Lele.
No, Tapu Lele is an okay option against Buzzwall and Standard before B-String, but Lele now is not an option against Buzzwall with B-String. But Mewtwo, with its ability to hit for weakness, really, really good. Super solid. Yep. Anything else on this? It's the deck to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Testing, if you can't beat this, then you probably shouldn't play the deck you've chosen, is the reality. So, it's one, or I think it's been at the top tables, since January? A little before, around Christmas. So,
Didn't you say there's one more thing that you think we should add?
the Guzma and the Mewtwo.
Wasn't there one more card?
Was there? What?
Toad?
Toad. One Toad could definitely help. I don't know what you're going to... Maybe the communication or level ball. You could cut one of those for one Seismitoad. And that would help the matchup of our number one pick also, along with the second Guzma. So we'll get in that in a sec. But keep in mind, one Toad would definitely be good in this. So, let's move on to... We'll just talk real quick. Honorable mention for me is Groudon. I think Groudon's in a good spot with all the fighting buffs and Diancie and Wobbuffet slowing down.
What's Diancie gonna do? It's already hitting for 200.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could hit,
220.
Yeah. So,
Ooh.
I think it could help. I think Diancie could help out Groudon, and I think Wobbuffet and stuff like that. But let's get into our number one pick here. Donphan. That's right, folks. The little elephant is our number one pick.
It's not that little. Fanfi is.
So,
Not Donphan.
why don't you start us off here?
Well,
Why is it your number one pick?
mainly because the new Diancie. This allows to get one shot on those orcs super easily with Choice Band, Diancie, Strong, Donphan. That's all you need to get two prize cards for a 2-in-1 prize exchange. And then you get to put up Wobbuffet. They don't get to use their trade abilities. They don't get Shaman. They don't get anything except for their psychic abilities. And they're only running like 6 supporters and then 4 Via Seekers. So that is super strong against those. And it just cripples the deck, especially when you hit it with Parallel City. That's something that's super hard for them to get over.
Okay, so we've tested this matchup extensively, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
So, I always played Scrambled Eggs, and Caden always played Donphan.
Always had a soft spot for it.
And I added in the Toad, and I think I went undefeated with the Toad. Donphan, his worst enemy is toad. It's weak to the water. It's item locked. It's it's item dependent. For the most part, it's item dependent to get your right tools on there, etc.
Your float stones. That's what really hurts.
So, so with the toad, scrambled eggs beats this fairly easily. So we were like, okay, well most scrambled egg lists don't play the toad, just like the Alonzo variants. So we took the toad out, and then we played the matchup. Complete 180. I could not win. I think we played 20 games, and I didn't win one. And the reason for that is Caden would hit me with Wobbuffet, Parallel City, and an Inn. Because I would normally kind of start off taking the lead, and then he would hit me with those three. And so I have to exhaust so many resources. I have to remove the Parallel City. I have to dig for a Guzma somehow to get Wobbuffet out of the active so I can use trades. And that was hoping that I hit something of value off of Inn. And remember, there's this low supporter count and only one Guzma. So I would have to hit a VS Seeker and get Guzma Wobbuffet out of the active, and then I could use trades to hopefully dig for puzzles or my one field blower or a Skyfield to bump Parallel. And 2 or 3 times I could do that. But I've only taken 3 prizes, and I've exhausted so many resources just to get those 3 prizes that by the 4th time you did it, I had nothing left. I had no more gas in the tank. And so I was actually stuck draw, pass, draw, pass. There was nothing I could do. I mean, I could hit into Wobbuffet or whatever, but I was only, I wasn't even able to one-shot it because of Parallel with only doing 80 damage. So this is the way to go. If you think that you're going to face scrambled eggs, 5, 6 times out of the 9 rounds, which I think you will, then this is super good. It's going to struggle against the
Toad variants.
Oh, it auto loses to Toad. It auto loses to Toad. There's no text that you can add in. You lose to Toad.
I mean, Toad's not being played that much. So.
No, it's not. It's not. Maybe a tech here and there, but overall, Toad's not being played. Your Buzzwall Lycanroc match, I got to thinking about it, and what I would do is take off 1 choice band and add in 1 muscle band. The Lycanrocs are the threat, not the Buzzwalls, the Lycanrocs. 1 Lycanroc can just run you over because it can easily one-shot the Donphans with their Claw Slash attack or Dangerous Rogue. So the issue is with the Rockruffs, you want to take them out as quick as possible, and the new Rockruffs have 70 HP. So spinning turn 40, muscle band 60, Dancy get you to the 80 to one-shot it.
But I mean, if you have strong,
or if you have strong, it just gives you another option, and the muscle band you can just grab with Karina straight away.
Right.
So I think a 1 tech over the 3 choice band is very solid. So, but this is our first. This is our pick to play the tournament and win. This is what you would play, right?
Yes.
I agree. I would play this too, just from our testing. It's really good. And some of you may be surprised that Buzzwall and Lycanroc or the new Malamar decks aren't on our list. And that's more because we feel like, some people are going to try to play the Buzzwall and stuff, but we think Espeon Drampa Garb beats the Buzzwall Lycanroc variants. The Zoroark variants are 50-50, but if you add in the right text, even a Mr. Mime, we were talking about adding in a Toad, but if you added in a Mr. Mime and the Mewtwo, I think you're 50-50, if not 60-40, in favor of the Zoroark. So, I still would play this. I like Trev because, if people are playing this Donphan variants, if they're playing Lucario variants, if they're playing Buzzwall Lycanroc, Trevenant's got a good matchup against all those since it resists. And that's another reason to use Muscle Band in
Donphan.
Yeah. Donphan or in the Buzzwall variants. So, yeah, that's all we got. And hopefully you enjoyed. And if you're going to Virginia, good luck at the regional. And play Donphan if you want to win.
I agree.
All right.
Donphan. Stay golden, Donphan.
All right, so till next time. Little quick teaser. Been working on an extremely spicy deck. It's based on the Zoroark counter decks, but it's centered around Zoroark with Dawn Wings. You got your Malamar Necrozma decks. Zoroark handles those pretty good. They're very solid against it. And then you got your Buzzwall variants that's going to be everywhere in Standard. Well, we've already proven in all our testing that once you set up one Dawn Wings, it can just mow down Buzzwall variants fairly easily. So it's going to be based on like the Zoroark counters that ran like Shaman, Sudowoodo, and stuff like that. But you play Dawn Wings with Beast Ring to power it up. And then you'll also play the little baby Buzzwall for the Zoroark variants. So it's kind of a Zoroark counters, but the main focus is going to be to counter Malamar Necrozma and to counter Buzzwall. So
pretty spicy.
So we'll try to get that. We've got a baseball tournament this weekend, so I don't know how much energy we'll have, but we'll do our best to get that deck up and running for you guys. And okay, so until next time, be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes.